So I was approaching the new 2014 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as somebody who'd never actually really gotten into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know if we had any of the toys or not, but yeah, and even then, I mean, I did dress up as one of them, Donatello, as a kid, but yeah, the fact that still, even though I wasn't somebody who watched the show as a kid or was familiar with the show, it is still impressive the fact that it had such a cultural influence that it even those who didn't really know what Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was all about still knew about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I've heard time and time again that this movie is not exactly offensive to a Ninja Turtles fan, but it's at the same time not exactly impressive. And yeah, I can completely understand that while sitting through this film. Here's the plot. April O'Neil, played by Megan Fox, is a reporter doing human interest pieces who's desperate to try to find a bigger story and a bigger scoop. And she constantly tells this to her cameraman Vernon, played by Will Arnett. And then one night while she's investigating the Foot Clan, she witnesses the infamous Foot Clan, who's constantly been causing crime throughout the city. She witnesses who she thinks is one vigilante stopping them from doing what they're planning to do. She eventually figures out that it's actually 4 vigilantes, but they're not just regular humans. They're 4 teenage turtles who, yes, are mutants, and yes, are ninjas. In fact, she had a connection to them as a kid, as her father was performing a mutation experiment on them. In fact, that very experiment is why they are mutants to begin with. And yeah, so the four Ninja Turtles being named Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, and Michelangelo. And they've been taught to be ninjas by their sensei, a rat named Splinter. But they've been hiding out in the sewers ever since then and been trying to remain low-key. However, as their presence is revealed, the evil Shredder, a ninja master all himself, and the leader of the Foot Clan, as well as his associate, corrupt businessman Eric Sachs, played by William Fichtner, are planning a sinister experiment for the city, and April and the Ninja Turtles must stop them however they can. So, yeah. This does seem to, based on what I've learned about the animated show and other incarnations and the original films, I can say that there's certainly stuff here that's very recognizable. Again, there's stuff here that's very recognizable comparing the two. And yeah, I hear about a lot of the BS that went on behind the screen where there were changes they wanted to make that fans heard about and they were absolutely enraged. And ultimately, because of that, they didn't end up making the changes. For example, instead of being actual mutant turtles, the plan was to make them aliens. It would have been different at the same time, and it would have been trying to put its own spin. At the same time, though, it's not exactly Ninja Turtles, and you can't call it Ninja Turtles for that reason. But so yeah, it's understandable as to why they didn't make the change. Another thing is that Sax was originally planned to be revealed to be the Shredder, and Shredder was not a separate character. And yeah, you see how expressive Fichtner is in his performance when he talks about how he is planning to get rich off of the poisoning everyone in the city, then offering the antidote and becoming stupid rich as a result. Not just any kind of regular rich. And yeah, he is fun to watch in the film, and yeah, you really do wish that they had made him the same character as opposed to separately, because again, like I said, Fichtner is just a more expressive actor, and he's playing the more expressive character. So, and a lot of people complain about how the fact is they're trying to stop a giant tower from sending out a gas into the city, and how similar the climax of this movie is to Amazing Spider-Man. And yeah, that is another legitimate criticism. At this At the same time, though, I think what they're doing for the most part is fine. And, Michael Bay's producing style, I mean, it's clear that a lot of this is done the way it is because he's a producer, even though he wasn't the director. And, again, his style can be very intrusive because it doesn't present everything the way that it should, and because it's focused way more on action than it is on story. Again, though, because it's not his direction, that helps to give this movie an advantage. And let me tell you, some of the visuals do look really good. The digital work in the Turtles, it's not that distracting. Not to mention the fact that, my God, that sequence near the end of the film, as they're being chased down that snowy mountain, that's an impressive sequence. And for a Nickelodeon movie to be able to accomplish that, again, it's not something you'd expect. Because you would think that they wouldn't have the budget for something like that, considering how The Last Airbender turned out. Well, some of the visuals looked impressive, but at the same time, some of the visuals looked cheap. And also the performances are good themselves. I mean, I've already singled out Fichtner, but Megan Fox, she's often not been criticized for her acting, and I think what she does here, so it's not great by any stretch of the imagination. She is trying. Although there's one scene where she's explaining to her boss, played by Whoopi Goldberg, that she's about the Turtles, and yeah, she comes off being nutty. And I realize the point is that, like, we're kind of seeing her the way that her boss is seeing her in that moment, but at the same time, we're not really supposed to, because we know she's telling the truth. We know she's not crazy. But anyway, that I think is a nitpick compared to other things. Ultimately, I think the movie itself is fine. It's not again, there are way better action movies, there are way better superhero movies, and there are way better films about characters like this that have more personality to them, are more expressive, and thus this seems a pick of the litter of the films that are not the standouts, but certainly are serviceable enough as they are. Take it for what it's worth, and check it out.